they are simple acts that I think mushroom over time. And those simple acts to change are to have a gratitude journal, as just an example. Some people, I have gotten so many people to say, gratitude journal? What is that going to do? And I'm going to say to you, in the most deepest, darkest moments of my life, and I've been keeping a gratitude journal every single day for the last year and a half. And I have an accountability partner, and he and I send a gratitude journal, a little text message every night that I have to sit there regardless of how crappy my day was or how disappointed I was in something or someone or how, what I would love to see happen didn't happen, or there were delays or whatever, right? I still have at least 7 to 10 points that I put that make what am I grateful for. And I can tell you, viewer, just doing that, sometimes we have to fake it until we make it. And I know some people don't believe in that. I do. And even if it's, I am so grateful that I'm just writing. I'm grateful I'm going to bed early. I'm grateful that I got up today. I'm grateful that I had a cup of coffee or some tea. It doesn't matter. But if you make that kind of commitment, it mushrooms into the desired life you would like to have slowly, but it happens, right?
And it creates the habit. It's like you're building a habit now. Instead of a habit of depression, it's a habit of gratitude. It's just the same idea as when you're depressed, you make it a habit to reinforce the depression. That's all happening in your subconscious. You're not necessarily consciously waking up and being like, all right, how can I feel worse today? However, and your subconscious kind of is running the show in that way because that's what it's used to, and that's all it's doing is just reinforcing this automatic machine now. So when you take, let's say, as an example, a gratitude journal, or start on a daily affirmation binge, or you start whatever it is. The gratitude journal is a great example, though. So starting, let's just say, a gratitude journal now is not just a process of writing down what you're grateful for, but it's a process of reprogramming your whole brain and your whole mindset without even knowing it. And like you said, you might not feel that deep level of gratitude, especially on those hard days. But when you still go ahead and still practice that gratitude, even actually, it's the most important when you're not feeling it. That's what starts the reprogramming. And even if you don't necessarily feel it, you're saying it, and you're writing it down, or both. It that act is the act that will reprogram it. And then over time, you kind of got to think about these things as a compound effect too, increment by increment. You might not notice it every day, but when you look back a couple weeks, a month, a year later, pretty dramatic, the outcomes. And I can definitely speak to that as well from personal experience. Like, oh my God, gratitude's got to be one of the most important practices I have in my day-to-day life, because now it's a habit for me. No matter what happens in my life, I'm always like, especially in a voice note to a friend or something, I'll be like, oh, this and that happened today. But I am grateful that I still have an awesome apartment, and I'm living in a beautiful place of the world that I love, and whatever I gotta say. But I now, just like whatever's going on, I'll recognize the negative things, which is, you don't want to be blind to it. It's like light and dark both have to exist in our life. We need that balance, masculine, feminine, yin and yang. So I examine the things that aren't making me very happy, that it might be upsetting me. And at the same time, I'm also going to acknowledge the things that I'm grateful for, just so that it's still balanced and I'm still practicing the habit of gratitude, because that's what reprograms is gratitude is incredible for that.
I totally agree, and thank you for that input. And I really appreciate you bringing in personal story, Chris. I mean, I think that just makes it real and us real. I feel that our minds, we are so powerful. We don't even realize it. And yet, what I just read proves how powerful we actually are. And if without anything except for our thoughts, we have the ability to make our physiological bodies addicted to that particular emotion or those emotions in a negative way, we have the ability to actually do the opposite and to live a life of just pure joy and acceptance and gratitude and empathy and compassion. And it is because we have a choice. And so I am a big believer, as you know, that we get to choose how we want to think and feel. If there is anything that we actually do have a choice, it is our attitude. And I think it was Henry Ford who said something like, what you believe, something like what whether you believe it or not, it's true, or whether you believe it, you're right. Whatever we believe, we're correct, our own personal truth. So if you believe that you can never get out of it meaning maybe some place that feels really dark, maybe you live in fear on a regular basis. And I don't mean fear and I'm sure there's a lot of people who feel fear for their physical safety, but a lot of people actually produce fear based on ruminating thoughts of what may happen in the future that never ends up happening. And so we also, on the other hand, have the ability to say stop, to actually put the pause button on and to change the way that we believe. And it doesn't happen without inner work and reflection and commitment and intention.